Yo, what's going on everybody, it's your boy Kyle and I'm back again this time to give you another One Piece video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you my review of One Piece Stampede. I know the film came out last year, but for us in the UK it only came out this year. I've actually seen the film twice, once on Thursday and once on Saturday. The one on Thursday was a special screening, which I'm going to give another shout out to Manga UK for personally inviting me. They also invited my friends Lion Panda and James Hansen. I also met Saffron as well, who's another YouTuber, but we only really interacted a couple of times on Twitter. It wasn't really like how I know James and Flying Panda, so that was really cool to be around a lot of like One Piece YouTubers, and also Atsu as well. So that's, if you know the game One Piece Treasure Cruise, so his name is Asian Guy OPTC. So yeah, it was really nice to meet him as well, like, because we'd interacted on Twitch. So he's more of a Twitch guy, but he's a bit of both Twitch and YouTube. But it was really nice to see him anyway. So yeah, it was just awesome. So obviously there was like free food, free drink, which is always amazing. There was One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, which is obviously courtesy of Bandai Namco, which was really cool. Didn't play it, but I'd already played it before, so I'm just going to wait now. And then there was also like these screens that were, you know, put around the room, and it was showing One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, and it was also showing the trailer to One Piece Stampede, which was overall really, really good. And also we got some bags as well, so courtesy of Manga UK, which I'm gonna sort of show now. Obviously I've already had a little peek, so I know what's inside there, but yeah, this is the bag. I'm gonna keep it because, yeah, look, come on, One Piece Stampede. So inside there was a Manga UK top, which is cool, so I've got one of those. I also got a keychain, so it's a straw hat keychain, which I do need to, you know, put onto my keys. There was a, oh, so this is the company that supplied the keychain, which I've bought from before, which is ABY Style. So if you guys want to check them out, I'll leave a link down in the description below. There was also a mini poster, which is really cool. So yeah, it's actually really nice. And I also got some One Piece Stampede stickers. I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. Obviously I'm going to keep them, but I'm not really going to put them on anything because I really haven't got anything to put them on. So yeah, that's everything that was in the bag. So it was really nice that, you know, we got some One Piece Stampede merch, but I also got some more One Piece Stampede merch, which I will get to in a second. So to talk about the special screening, it was an amazing experience. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you again Manga UK for inviting me, and I saw that in sub. And then we'll move on to the dub because there is some stuff to talk about with that. Nothing bad, just a couple of bits, which is why I'm glad I saw it in both. But anyway, so going to Saturday, I actually got some One Piece Stampede merch, like I said. So I got 2 t-shirts. I got the Pirates Festival one. So I'm wondering why they chose this outfit. Don't get me wrong, the outfit's cool, but he only wore this outfit for like 10 minutes. But still, I'm not going to complain, I'm going to represent my boy Luffy. So yeah, I'm actually really happy about that, and they were reduced as well. So my girlfriend got a couple of tops. She got a buggy top and a chopper top, and my brother got the Pirates Festival one, but in black. So yeah, overall it was really cool. And then we went to the cinema, so they really enjoyed it, and I had to wait to do this review because if I'd have done it on Thursday when I come back from seeing the film, she would have got spoiled, and obviously it's not really fun when you get spoiled whatsoever. And I don't know how I actually managed to stay unspoiled from this film. So props to the One Piece community for not actually spoiling anything. Yeah, general thoughts of the film, One Piece Stampede. What is One Piece Stampede? Stampede is basically a big thank you to the fans because obviously it was its 20th anniversary for the anime, and it was definitely worth the watch. Like, you could tell it was like not just having all these characters in the film, like watching what was going on in this Pirates Festival, you actually felt like yourself was at this pirate festival, because that's generally the aim that they were going for. It's like, okay, well, let's bring the fans actually into the film in the sense of they're at the pirate festival themselves, experiencing what is going on around all these other characters. That's how it felt to me, which I'm pretty sure it felt like a lot to people. So yeah, no, overall it was really good. Like seeing the villain, or 2 villains I guess you could say, they were really cool, the way it was all done. I guess you could say it kind of had like a little bit of a story. It wasn't something like Film Z or Film Gold, I guess you could say, and Strong World. You could kind of say it's a little bit like Strong World and Film Gold, just not like Film C. I think that's the best way to put it, I guess. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way. I think if I was to rank the film in general, I'd probably say Stronghold's at the bottom. Bear in mind, I love all these films. So Stronghold for me would probably be last, then Film Gold, and I'd have Film Z and Stampede at the top. Like, both films are absolutely phenomenal. I think with Stampede, 1, because it's the most recent film, 2, because it's a big thank you, and 3, because of everything that was like jam-packed into this one like film. Whereas Film Z, on the other hand, I loved Zephyr's backstory. I think it was really well done. Like, I'll explain why later, because there's a difference between, like, well, actually there's a huge difference between Stampede and Film Z. Now, just one more thing before I dive into spoiler territory. Do I think that this is a film for you to show your friends if they want to get into One Piece? Yes and no. No, because this is basically a thank you to all the fans. So, yeah, like, in that sense, no, show them the other ones. If you know they're into something like Dragon Ball Broly, like they love their heavy battle stuff, then yeah, this would be a good film to show them. But I generally think if you want to get them into One Piece, show them like Film Gold or something, or Strong World. Any one of those, just show them one of them. So, going into spoiler territory, and this is your last chance, guys. So, like, literally, I'm only going to give you like a few seconds. So,
here's the door. Oh, I'm opening the door. Out you go, stupid.
Where to actually start? I guess I'm going to start with the big thing that I was not expecting, which is why I said props to the One Piece community for not actually spoiling this. Ace made a return to One Piece, but not in the sense that you think he would return. So, easiest way to explain this, there is a girl called Anne. She's one of the commentators, along with, I think his name was Don or something. I can't remember his last name, but yeah, they were both commentators, and she has a devil fruit power which allows anything that she touches. So say she would touch Luffy, he would come out and be like a vision thing for like 10 seconds or whatever, and then like he would disappear. So she did that earlier on with the dragon, I believe it was from Punk Hazard. Now with the way that this happened, the way that Ace and Sabo were standing, because you had Sabo like on this side, you had Ace on this side, they both fired fire fists. Like, it was great, and you literally just saw Ace standing there like that, Sabo standing there just like that. It was very like reminiscent to Marineford, like that's what it reminded me of, and it was a great touch. And you can see that Luffy saw the both of them because he had a big smile on his face, but it was just like so sad when you see Ace just fade away like after a few seconds after doing it. He had a big smile on his face, and obviously the song had kicked in, like that was like the main movie theme, and literally like there was just a big round of applause, like everyone was clapping, like it was great, like just to see Ace again. So that was really fantastic and a real amazing moment to pay to the One Piece fans, because obviously there are a lot of people that still really love Ace, who's been out of the story for quite a long time now. The only thing we've got of him was during Wano, so that's the only thing that we've seen of him like back in the past with Tama. But yeah, it was really nice to actually see him in the film. There was a lot of cameos in this film. Like, this film is very like battle heavy. I saw Konis and her father from Skypiea, Hachan from Fishman, and obviously they were there at Saodi, and there was the little like starfish, and I know his name begins with a P, but I can't pronounce it. I can remember it ish, but I'm not going to say it anyway. I saw a lot of people like from the Foxy Pirates just sitting in the stands like they did when like it was the Long Ring Longland arc. There was just literally everyone. The Supernovas, Kid, Wapple was in the film as well with his wife, Bonnie, Capone, Aruj, Apu, everyone, like Killer, like so many people, and it was literally just fighting non-stop. Like, there was no breaks. Like, the only breaks that you got is when you'd switch to seeing Sanji, Robin and Law, Chopper and Brook, like, and seeing like Smoker and just like a few of the Marines. That's when it sort of changed pace, slowed down a little bit in that sense. But when you went straight back to the Pirates Festival, everyone was battling, because the whole point of it was to get like the log pose, which was in the treasure box that was located on this sky island. So they all came in, and this like knock-up stream was going up, and like this island just came up through the stream and just sort of like landed on top in a bubble, so it was floating. So it was a sky floating island, and they all went through. They dropped down, they saw the treasure, and they saw the little box that had the log pose in it. So they're all fighting. It was great seeing all these like fights, seeing like Luffy clashing with Aru, clashing with Apu. All these characters that you love to see fighting. X-Drake as well, Hawkins. It was just everything that you'd want in a One Piece film. Like, it was just epic. Absolutely loved it. Buggy also, he was there with Alvida and Mr. 3. Supposed to be like some security guards or whatever, and yeah, that didn't really go down so well. Obviously, when Buggy opened up the box, he knew what it was, and he was surprised. So then obviously Usopp got it, and then that is where everything went downhill. Anyone that was on that island, like any of the Supernovas, it went downhill real quick. Bullet. So Bullet was imprisoned back in Impel Down, and during the breakout that happened when Luffy and all that were there, obviously everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people escaped. Blackbeard came in. We didn't see what happened to him until he came back to Marineford after he got poisoned by Magellan. But after that, he went down to level 6, released a lot of people, and then left Bullet there. But I think he must have left Bullet's door open, or Bullet just busted the door open, but it wouldn't have because, wait, I don't know if it didn't, don't think they specified whether he had the devil fruit at that point or not. So I don't really know, but I think they left the door open. I'm not too sure on that. So Bullet got out, met Buenafesta, but I think his name is Buenafesta. And Buenafesta wanted to host a pirate festival because he wanted to start a new era. Obviously, getting Douglas Bullet was obviously the top of the cake for him. Like, okay, I need someone who's like the closest to the Pirate King, in which Bullet was. Like, if you take Roger out of it, which obviously wasn't in the film, well, he was, but like, he wasn't. He would be the strongest person, like, there, and he was, and I will get to that soon. Like, he was the strongest. So Bullet and Buenafesta teamed up, and they wanted to get all the pirates there, so yeah, they could start a new era, so doing everything that they could and getting the actual log pose, which I'm going to tell you guys about this now. So it's called Laugh Tale, or Laugh Tale, which if you're a manga reader, you know for a fact that this is where some controversy happened. So when I saw the film originally in sub, it said Laugh Tale, but then they said it's the path to Raftel, but obviously Gold Roger put it as, you know, Laugh Tale. But the weird thing was, this film came out last year. We only got the reveal of Laugh Tale like a few chapters ago. I found out from Flying Panda that Oda was annoyed that they revealed that in the film before the actual manga, which is understandable because this film's not meant to be canon. I guess you could kind of call it canon now a little bit because of Laugh Tale and a scene like right at the end after the credits, which I'll get to in a minute. But Laugh Tale, I'm a bit like, whoa, that's kind of like, oh, that's not really a good thing if you ask me. So yeah, it was good. But then in the dub, they just kept it as Laugh Tale. And I thought, why don't you just say Raftel? Like, I understand, like, but in the sub, they said Laugh Tale, but it's the path to Raftel. I understand it's the same sort of thing, but I think it might be kind of confusing for anime-only watchers, and you watch this film, you're like, Laugh Tale? What? Laugh Tale? Where's this coming from? It's gonna really, like, mess you up here, so, which is why I'm glad I read the manga and I keep up to date. So, yeah, that was the whole point of what Buenafesta wanted to do. You wanted to start a new era, get rid of the Roger Pirates era, yeah, scrap that aside, and Bullet wanted to be the strongest character in the entire world, and at that point, he was the strongest person, but like wasn't the king of the pirates because he hadn't obtained the One Piece. So this guy, literally 2 years later, grabs like a ship, launches it up the knock-up stream and pops the bubble. The island comes crashing down. Usopp gets the box. Usopp gets slapped by Bullet. You don't see it, but he gets slapped and he's holding like Usopp's head in just like his 2 fingers. And he's holding the box like that as well. It's great the way he's just standing there. Like, this guy is hench. And then he's got like these little stick kind of thin legs. It's great. Like, it's so weird. I guess they're not really stick thin, but compared to like his upper body, they're stick thin, but they're not. But this guy is no joke. Like, this guy is practically Broly. Not the new Broly until probably he's transformed, but I'm saying like the old Broly. Like, he's powerful, like he is super strong, and he makes the supernovas look like nothing. He punches Luffy straight into the ground, and then Kid and Killer are like standing there. They literally just can only for a split second pull one face, and then like Bullet's behind him and slams both their heads together, takes out X-Drake transforms, takes him out. Arouge comes in, takes him out. Bonnie literally manages to get like a little bit of a kick, takes her out. Capone gets slapped up in Big Father. A man on his own, he is just whipping ass, like straight up. Like, he is kicking booty. The only damage I guess you could say, if you can, it was just like ripping his clothing, is when they did like a team kind of like combination and Luffy just hit him with the Red Hawk and he's like, you guys are good, but not good enough, as he's like ripping it off and he's just like, yeah, like flexing, and he's just like going in again. Every time we cut away and we come back, they're literally just like laying down like all bruised and bad. What is going on? Like, this guy's just toying with us. Like, I think that's exactly what Apu said. Like, he said he's just toying with us. This is not worth it. Like, we're just getting our asses handed to us. But then I will give props to like the whole Buster Call. Like, Buenafesta ordered a Buster Call to destroy the island. This was absolutely crazy, and it was the one thing that actually stopped Bullet before. It was just crazy. So we literally just had everything. We had pirates fighting. We had literally I guess you call it the closest thing to the Pirate King fighting. We had the Marines. We had everyone just coming in. We didn't see Aokiji, he was nowhere in sight. We saw Borsalino and we saw Akainu, but Akainu was just sitting at his desk ordering, yeah, the Buster Call and whatever. But we saw so many people. Shintenmaru. The one thing that did kind of disappoint me, I guess, a little bit, talking about Shintenmaru, because of obviously Pacifista. Frankie went into Iron General Frankie and just clashed with one of the Pacifistas. Now, he took out these, I don't know what you want to call them, the more like toned up, beefier, new Pacifistas. But this one, I guess it was just one of those things, yeah, we'll just show a clash and that's it, because we knew Frankie would have slapped him up anyway. But yeah, no, this film was just like jam-packed full of action. There was no breaks. Even saw Crocodile in the film as well. That was good. Brooke had his moments, like his really funny moments, which was cool. There was just so many amazing moments that I'm just trying to think of. But I guess the things that really stood out is Snake Man as well. When Luffy did Snake Man, I don't think Bullet actually had future Haki sight, because he didn't really see Luffy's punches. He dodged it and then he got slapped by it. The only ones that we knew he was confirmed to have was Armament Haki and Conqueror's Haki. Like, that Conqueror's Haki clash was amazing. That was great. I'll get to that in a second. But the whole Snake Man fight, and including the Black Mamba, rest in peace Kobe, that was great. Like, my brother looked at me when all he heard was Black Mamba, because obviously he doesn't really like know Snake Man. He's a little bit behind, so I guess it's kind of spoilers, but it doesn't really bother him that much. But when he actually saw the Black Mamba, he looked at me and was like, Kobe. I was like, yep, Kobe. But no, that was good. But then like Bullet's just coming back and he's just like beating him up, saying, yeah, this is, you think that's enough? You think that's enough? Like, he's just like proper going at him, and then punches him, and then literally see King Cobra, like the amazing animation like they did in the episode. We saw like the Golden Cobra, and then Bullet's just come in, and then boom, like you just see both of them go flying back, and Bullet's just like, yeah, that was nothing. And then Luffy's just like huffs like straight out of like Snake Man. But the really interesting fact as well is like it kind of reminded me of when Luffy went against Rob Lucci. You know how when he went into second gear and Lucci said, well, keep doing this, like the only reason you're like being able to like live is because obviously where your body's made rubber, anyone else would die. But Bullet pointed out saying that he's using way too much Haki, which is going to burn him out so quick. I think Snake Man uses a lot more Haki, I guess, if you want to put it, because the way that Bounce Man was used in this film, but obviously it's non-canon. So Bullet is literally just slapping Luffy beyond belief. Like, Luffy even went into Bounce Man and still getting slapped. He was proper getting wrecked. Not just the fact that he stayed in his normal form. He used his Devil Fruit to bring in his ship, which has got like a load of metal. So the way to explain he's like Gacha Gacha no Mi is he basically can gather all like different types of metal and all that, like ships, etc. And he will literally just transform into like this big Megazord type thing. And he was just slamming. And then Usopp is the MVP of the film. I will get to that in a second. But he transforms into this big Megazord and he's literally just slapping, like just hand slapping people out the way. Usopp comes in and he's just using his green stars and just doing everything he can. One of them managed to actually get in and wrap around the finger of Bullet's Megazord and crush it, which was really cool. One thing that Usopp said right at the start of the film, like when they actually got up onto the Sky Island type thing, is that snipers are for support. They're like the backup, they assist, that's what they do. And he was right. And then there was another amazing moment where he picked up Luffy, like after Luffy got taken down, he's walking with him, carrying him, and he's like, it's that same sort of similar speech that he gave to Luffy like back on Enies lobby, like when he went against Lucci and he was laying down, he's like, get up, you can do this. Kind of very reminiscent to that. And then they fall down, Brook and Chopper arrive. Chopper's about to work on Usopp and he's like, no, save Luffy first. Once Luffy's back up and gets down, Usopp's like, why am I part of this crew? Like, he does the whole sort of like, I'm useless kind of thing. And you can see Luffy's like, you're not useless. And I love the bond between Luffy and Usopp. Like, it's something so special there. If it wasn't for him, Bullet would have won. Bullet would have actually just destroyed everyone. So the way this actually went, after the whole Megazord thing happened, he then transformed once again. Like, he absorbed everything on the island. He absorbed the marine ships, he absorbed the houses, he absorbed literally everything on that island was gone. And he was like some gigantic, like way tall mofo thing that if it wasn't for Treasure Cruise, which I will post the like image here of his 6+ form on Treasure Cruise, we would have not guessed what the hell that thing was or what it looked like. You saw like little glimpses of it, but it was very dark shadow-esque, whereas if you look at the picture there, you clearly see what it actually looked like. Obviously there were some points where, yeah, you could kind of make out what it was, but that was only because of Treasure Cruise. That's the only way. But yeah, the form itself was really cool. So this was his awakened Devil Fruit. He looked awesome. Like the way he did his Haki, and you heard like all the sounds of like the crystal, because there was like some like purple like crystal-y type thing that was going on like when he was transforming, and then you see the Haki on top of that. This was just like, come on, how are they gonna do this? Luffy, like, what are you gonna do? And I'm so glad that this actually showcased that Luffy is not really on that Yonko-ish level yet, or as you could say, as people like to class it, Pirate King close level, because one-on-one he was getting just slapped. And it ended up being done with a team ult. We saw Sabo and Smoker's clash was epic, and obviously Sanji and Smoker's clash was epic as well, and obviously his clash with Lucci. So we had Sabo, we had Lucci, we had Crocodile, we had Boa. Like, I'm not really her biggest fan, but she made me think different things within this film. Not those kind of things, but she made me think different things. She was actually really kick-ass. From the time that she had in this film, like the little amount of small screen time that she had, she did a lot. Like, she managed to push Bullet back in that second form with her kick. She was really cool in this film. Like, so I actually started to like her quite a bit more. Like, that was awesome. And you had Buggy. Buggy was there, because Buggy's always there, and then Law as well. So there was a big plan to actually break him out of that form, because it was the only way. They tried it the first time, they broke off the arm, and so Law basically just like used his shambles to like create like a big like opening for Smoker and Sabo, who teamed up, and they broke it, and then so an arm actually fell off. Well, it was like, I only need one hand to defeat all you guys. Slapped Luffy away, Luffy went flying back, and then they were like, right, let's do this again. Luffy's gone up and he's blowing more air into his arm, and I thought, oh, we're gonna get a real like massive King Kong gun. The arm just like kept growing. It was just like growing and growing and growing, and obviously we switched back to them and they tried it again, and they said because if this time it fails, that's it. So they all went and done it again, and this is where Buggy was involved this time. So Buggy came in and like he was supposed to be running away, literally all just got like shambled into it, and they just unleashed this big attack, which then Luffy came flying in, and I thought, this actually looks like a Red Hawk. Are we going to get like some King Kong Red Hawk gun type thing? No, it was actually King Kong gun, and he just flew it straight into Bullet's face, and it literally just shattered him out of it. And then the next thing you know, he goes back into his Megazord type form, and we're like, oh no, what are we going to do here? And this is where I'm saying Usopp was MVP. So those little green stars that he was popping earlier, one of them finally activated. And as Bullet's about to come down on Luffy, it literally binds him and it rips off one of his arms. Obviously, it doesn't literally rip off one of Bullet's arms, but it rips off one of the Megazord arms. And you see Bullet coughing up blood. And then as he's come out of that, I was like, please don't tell me this is it. Even though Usopp was MVP, I'm like, come on, there's got to be more to this. And there was. Oh, was I in for some more like 1v1 action here. Luffy and Bullet going toe to toe. So Bullet's obviously got Soru and he's huckied up. Luffy's still in bands, man, and they're going proper like arms just going like, obviously I'm not going to do it like properly, but it was that. It was like they were proper going mental each other. Though they landed a few punches each, Bullet's obviously still getting the upper hand. Like he hits Luffy down. Luffy's coming straight back up, like he's just not giving up. And the whole big conversation is that Bullet has always seen, like this is when he was transforming earlier as well, so he's kind of sort of saying the same thing again here. You don't need a crew. Crew are weak, like they just hold you back. You just need to be on your own. You need to be strong on yourself. That's the way he viewed it to be the Pirate King, like you didn't need anyone, whereas Luffy sees it differently. Luffy obviously needs to be strong, but he's also got the support from his crew because, you know, they all love each other. They're like a big family, like they're always going to be there for each other, and that's what gives them their strength, obviously on top of their own. And Luffy's not having any of that. And then I don't know if there is like a type of form we could call this. It probably is, and I'm just being stupid and I can't remember it. But he went like a blue Android 13 type color. He was like completely blue everywhere, and he's going in again, proper going in for it, and he's hit Luffy straight on the face. Luffy's face has gone back like that. And if he comes down, like this is where the teeth grit, the eyes go big. See, Luffy does his usual big speech, and that's it. There's another move. I thought it was just a King Kong gun, but it wasn't. There was Kong Gatling. Like Luffy's just going in, and then if people really wanted Bullet to be in the manga, this is your only chance you'll see Bullet in the manga. Even though we've had the flashbacks, we haven't seen him whatsoever, so obviously he's still like non-canon. But if you wanted him to be canon, this is the time. He literally did what he did to St. Charles to Bullet. So as you know, when he sent St. Charles back into the manga, he sent Bullet into the manga. There was the one big gigantic shot where he's hit him, and it's just like, yeah, there's pure manga of Bullet and Luffy. And he's just smashing. You see Bullet diving straight into the ground. That is it. Like, Bullet is done. Like, Luffy just pained him, and I'm like, that's my MC. That's my boy Luffy. It was amazing. Obviously, he ends up getting the box, gets the little laugh tail log pose, and then Lucci and Smoker are coming in for it, and he just cracks it because that's an easy way. And he says, no, I want to do it the hard way. And I was just like, mad respect. Even James, who was sitting next to me when we saw it on that Thursday, even he was like, respect to that. Like, you've got to do it the hard way. You don't want it the easy way. And then obviously they tried to get away. That's when the Ace and Sabo, amazing thing happens. Like, that scene alone is just worth it, like, for the entire film. Like, just seeing Ace come back and Sabo together doing that, because I think a lot of people have wanted to see some Ace and Sabo stuff, and that was also perfect as well to see that. So it was really, really great. Emotional, but amazing. And then obviously the song kicks in. And then there was the after credit scene. So Gold Roger appears and he's talking about the log pose, and so he throws it into the ocean because he's like, well, no. And then he goes on to talking about the future Pirate King, which is yet another controversial thing, because that was only said in the same like chapter. Like, they're saying, oh, who's going to be the next Pirate King? He says, my son, which they say, but you don't have a son. And he says, I will do soon. There's a couple of little controversial things in there which was only just put into the manga as a reason, but other than that, the film was great. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. I need this film. If you haven't seen it, do watch it, or just wait until the actual official like DVD, Blu-ray, whatever you want to get comes out. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Obviously, oh, actually, I just want to say props to the voice actors on the Japanese side. The Japanese voice actors did an amazing job, and I also want to thank the English dub voice actors. Colin Clinkenbeard, she is just like the best voice actor. Like, she's my favourite. Damon Mills, you are absolutely fantastic as this Bullet. Like, you are very talented. Johnny Young Bosch taking over Sabo. Like, he did very, very well with that. I can't wait to hear his Broly voice. I've heard some things from Fighters, but Johnny did a really good job. Everyone in that film, like, did amazingly. It was so nice to hear the English dub voice actors again, and yeah, it was great. So props to all you guys, and props to everyone on the Japanese side, everyone involved, and it was such a great ride. Like, I really, really, really enjoyed it. Also, I forgot about these two as well. So I've got my Nami figure, and I've got my Stampede figure as well of Luffy. So yeah, I love that Nami one. It's probably my favourite one right now. Yeah, and obviously the Luffy one's awesome as well. So I love that. But yeah, no, they were really cool. So yeah, anyways, guys, with that being said, I'm Glee today. If you liked anything I had to say and you enjoyed my review of One Piece Stampede, give this video a big fat thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. Let me know down in the comments below your overall thoughts of the film. Did you really enjoy it? Have you seen it yet? Let me know your favourite part. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because that'd be absolutely amazing. Turn on the notification bell so you guys never ever miss a post, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Until then, see ya.